In the heavily Catholic Philippines, clergy members are beginning to rise up against President Rodrigo Duterte's ruthless drug war. But the priests are also fighting against a 2012 law to provide free contraception to the country's 100 million people, many of whom are desperately poor. Duterte, who once bragged about throwing a man out of a helicopter, isn't your typical progressive, but this January he stepped in to enforce that law with an executive order to ensure access to reproductive health and sexual education, opening a new front in his battle with the church and the country's conservatives.
Inside one of the busiest maternity wards in the world,
Mother Rose Ann.
Nurse John Paul Domingo counsels young mothers on the benefits of family planning.
Meron po tayong pills, injectables, condom, IUD.
Birth control has long been available in the Philippines, but for decades only a sliver of the population could afford it. In January, President Rodrigo Duterte signed an executive order that will make contraception free for everyone by 2018 in an effort to reduce poverty nationwide.
Is it something that you planned?
Surprise lang.
Family planning is very important here in the Philippines because mothers here have 5 babies, 6 babies, sometimes 13 babies.
The Philippines is one of few countries that has seen an increase in adolescent birth rates, and maternal mortality is also high. Before the executive order went into effect, women who couldn't afford birth control tried cheap and potentially risky alternatives, like these herbal potions sold in many of Manila's markets alongside crosses and religious charms. These healthcare workers are taking to the streets to distribute free birth control and contraceptive information.
So one of the main reasons why Duterte is pushing for this contraception to be available is because of the economic situation facing women in communities like this who are having large numbers of children and not being able to afford to pay for their upkeep.
Community mobilizers like Nene Amayan go door to door in poor neighborhoods where families earn just a few dollars a day.
Ito yung mga family planning na pwede mong mapili dito sa clinic. Tapos, di ba tayo mo gusto mo ng implant?
They also help transport women to nearby clinics to get the services they need. Before January's executive order, the Likha and Center for Women's Health, an NGO, was one of few places where low-income women could get access to all kinds of contraceptives free of charge. 36-year-old Jenalyn Arong is a mother of 7.
How difficult is it for you to raise children in your situation?
Sobra. Talagang hirap. Isa na lang nagtatrabaho sa amin. Kaya stop na. Ayoko na.
She came here to have this contraceptive implant inserted in her arm.
Medyo mabilang siya ng konti.
But the church and conservative congressmen continue to challenge Duterte's executive order.
Talagang lumalapit si Jesus sa atin kapag ang salita niya ay ating pinapakinggan, ating tinatanggap, pumapasok siya sa ating kaisipan.
Bishop Broderick Pabillo is one of many high-ranking public figures opposed to the executive order.
What do you think the church's responsibility is here?
We have to encourage the faithful to make their own proper choices.
But if they choose to have contraceptives,
that's their choice.
That's something that you're discouraging.
We are discouraging contraception. We are encouraging natural family planning methods.
But this is obviously not working.
That's why we have a great work to do. No, even in the church, we acknowledge that. We have to have a great work to do of educating the people.
Don't you think your position on contraceptives undermines that? I mean,
no, I don't think so. Because I think I've said we are offering another way, another method, which we think is better.
House Bill 4725, merging the Philippine
Congressman Jose Atienza Jr. of the Life Party is one of a handful of politicians leading the legal battle to block access to contraception in the Supreme Court.
Minors should not be given any condom to use. They should be taught good manners and right conduct.
What if they're having sex? I mean,
tell them not
there
to
are
have
mothers
sex.
in these neighborhoods that are 15, 16
I
years
am
old.
a product of a Filipino family. I learned my sex education in my home with my father guiding me, and he never taught me, bring along a condom just in case you need it. Children should be more involved with sports, physical development. mental character build-up, not sex.
But community health workers say those resisting the executive order are putting politics over women's lives.
They equate contraception with abortion, and therefore they want it to be totally illegal. They're forcing women not to use contraception, but that would be driving them into unintended and even unwanted pregnancies, which actually cause abortions. And there's so many poor, and the poorest know that contraceptives help them, help women, help their families, and help against poverty.